So beauty pageants aren't really my thing. To put this in perspective, in first grade, when the Scout people came to try to convince you to join, Cub Scouts sounded awesome. They got to make fires and go camping and build little race car things. And then the brownie lady came and talked about selling cookies, and I thought, I ain't selling cookies for you, lady. So I wasn't in brownies. Third grade, everyone joined cheerleading. All the girls did. And my mom asked if I wanted to join, to which I replied, boys don't cheer for me when I play basketball. Why should I cheer for them? And, lest you think the basketball playing was, indicative of my personality, I did not have an athletic bone in my body, not an ounce of coordination. The only reason I could hold my own in, again, third grade basketball was that I had two things going for me. I was pretty tall, and I could sit still and listen to directions. Yeah. And I was good at listening to directions. I was good at processing information. I was the smart girl. And I owned that identity. So fast forward to middle school, I was still the smart girl. But as the smart girl, I worked very hard to make sure I stayed in my box so that, because if I was crawling out of the smart girl box, then the popular girls would attack. So I made sure to always wear jeans and loose-fitting t-shirts because obviously I'm a smart girl. I know better than to care what people think or, to try to look cute or anything like that because I'm too smart to care about all that superficial stuff. Fast forward to high school, though, I became more confident. Sometimes I would wear jeans and loose-fitting t-shirts, but sometimes I would wear jeans and loose-fitting sweaters. So I had made progress, but I was still pretty skeptical when Gail, the dry cleaning lady, said, Erin, you're a senior this year. You should do the Junior Miss program. Yeah, so there's America's Junior Miss, and then our local version was Waterford's Junior Miss, and I'd heard of it from older students, and politely said, oh, thanks, Gail, but that's just not really my thing. And she said, oh, but there's an academic scholarship. You would be a shoo-in. I thought, she was right. I would be a shoo-in. I was that girl, right? So I looked at the information packet, and the first thing it says is, America's Junior Miss is not a beauty pageant. It's a scholarship program. Yeah, I'll believe that when I went. And it wasn't that I had such low self-esteem. It was just objectively, looking at the data. The girls who had been successful in the past had been nice, kind, talented, intelligent, size 5 with clear complexions. That was who had been successful. This wasn't really my thing, but there was an academic scholarship. And to be fair, they did weigh the academic scholarship, the academic, part of the judging more heavily than the poise or physical fitness, which are both words for beauty. So I decided, with mild trepidation, to sign up. The first practice comes, and we had to come prepared to learn the physical fitness routine. I did not own a pair of sweatpants. I was that committed to avoiding physical exertion, okay? This was a part of my personality. Thankfully, this was of the period where you could kind of get away with wearing pajama pants, because I had some with cargo pockets, so they were sort of, the ones you could kind of wear outside, like Joe Boxers. So I wore those to practice. And the girls that were there, really they were nice. It's not fair to stereotype them, because there were a lot of cheerleaders, but they were nice girls. I was no threat to their social status, so they didn't mind me. And there were Palms girls, and if your school's like mine, you know that Palms girls are fine unless you accuse them of being cheerleaders. Then not so much, but I knew better, so they were fine. And there were even a few fellow band and drama geeks there, which was a big relief to know some people. But even most of them were involved in some sort of sport or dance or something. And all of them were girls. Like, they knew how to be teenage girls. They could do stuff. They could, like, talk about pop culture. They could, like, talk about what boys they thought were cute. They could put on eye makeup. They could walk in high heels. They could go through the underwear department of Kmart without panicking. They could talk about tampons. And I could do none of these things, right? But I knew I still had two things going for me. I was pretty tall, and I could listen to directions. So I listened to directions with all my heart. I listened to how to do the kicking and the jumping and the smiling and the everything. And the girls really were nice, and you know, they helped me out and didn't give me a hard time when I was clueless and everything. And finally, the day of the competition came. And the first thing in the morning, there was the interview portion. And so I listened to directions, so I had like my professional-ish looking modest dress with the sweater, with the one button, and the Mary Jane so that I didn't trip, and I did the firm handshake and the smile and the eye contact. I played the part. And then, towards the end, one of the judges, his question was, if you could pick a question, what would it be and how would you answer it? Which is not the sort of thing you prepare for. So the only question I could think of was one my friend had mentioned the day before, which was, if you were a car, what car would you be? To which I replied that I would be like my dad's 1964 Studebaker station wagon. And if you know anything about Studebakers or station wagons, you know that that's not particularly flattering. But I survived. So then that night, there was the real competition, the pageant. And it was at the high school cafetorium, if you remember those, cafetoriums. And then our green room, where you had to get ready for things, was in the choir room. And obviously, everyone's getting together in one room, changing clothes, which means like getting out of some clothes before putting on other clothes, which is not something I was particularly comfortable with either. But I had prepared a few weeks earlier. I had mustered my strength, cowgirled up, and gone into the underwear department of Kmart. I was not brave enough yet to buy underwear, but I did buy some of those spandexy shorts that you can wear like under things. So I could wear those even under my dress and my other shorts and stuff, and you know, so that like I didn't have to completely get naked around people, and that helped. So I had that for changing, and then the show was going on, and the first part was poise. And for poise, they teach you things like, you know, so you have to have your good posture, of course, and your smile, and then you stand in a certain way. You stand at like a left hesitation or a right hesitation, where your back foot is back at like, you know, 9 o'clock, and then your front foot is at 12 o'clock, and you smile. And then the secret is that you step off with your front foot. So it works something like this. Hi, I'm Erin Nolan from Waterford Kettering High School. And it goes on from there. So I wore my homecoming dress from the year before, and I should explain that I didn't wear a single skirt or dress to school, to class, between picture day in like 4th grade and sometime in college. And if this was because I just hated dresses or something, I'd be fine with it. But it was actually because I was just that self-conscious of people thinking that I was trying to look cute and trying to be someone I wasn't, because I was a girl who wore the jeans and t-shirts and all of that. But I was fine with homecoming, because that was like a social, you know, it was one of those rules. You're supposed to wear a dress to that. So I had the dress already, and I took advantage of being sort of tall and got away with heels that were 1 inch. so that I didn't trip. So I survived the poise part because I could smile and stand the hesitation with the good posture and the not-so-high heels, and I didn't trip. For the talent portion, most of the girls sang or danced or played an instrument. The song I Hope You Dance was very popular multiple years in a row for this competition, as I understand, but I am not musically gifted. I could not do those things very well. So I recited the first page of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable, etc. It's great. You should read it. And I think it was a first for Junior Miss reciting that. Probably a last. Anyways, and then there was the dreaded fitness routine. And for this, it involved like dancercising to Ease on Down the Road from The Wiz, which is a fine song, but it's made less pleasant by wearing white shorts and white t-shirts with blue gingham Dorothy-inspired vests. And we had these wooden blocks to do exercise blocks, and they were painted like yellow bricks. And so we had to do the, ease on down the road. Ease on down. And I had to learn all these steps, and it was pretty ridiculous. But the worst part was having to do the push-ups, and I couldn't do push-ups. I couldn't even fake it, but it was like this. You had to go, smile. And a friend in the audience told me afterwards that my smile looked like they were pulling my teeth, which is pretty much how I felt. But I survived that too without literally falling. There were a couple of missteps, but I survived it. So then you go back and you kind of wait around and you put your pretty dress back on and everyone does their thing, and then you come back out. And so we're all standing there in our, hesitations and our good posture and our fake smiles, and we're just standing there, and they start to do the awards. And the academic award comes up, and they call my name, which was not exactly a surprise, but a big relief, because that meant all the white shorts and the spandex and changing in front of people who knew how to talk about tampons and all of that stuff was worth it, because I had gotten what I came to do. And so then, you go back and you're standing there, and they did the talent award, and a friend won that, which is really good because she had an awesome voice. And then they did the interview award, and my name got called again. I was like, hey, wow, somebody likes Studebakers. Okay, so I got that, and then you go back and you stand there, and as they're going through the other awards, like that moment with all the girls standing there was sort of one of those warm fuzzy moments, because there really was quite a variety of girls involved that night in doing that thing. And there were girls, about half of them were from my high school, but there were girls that I knew, but I didn't really talk to usually because I didn't have any reason to talk to them. We didn't have anything to talk about. But because of Junior Miss, we had something to talk about. So in government class, we could complain about the white shorts, and then at Junior Miss practice, we could complain about the government test. It was little things, but it actually did bring a large variety of people together. And because the competition it involved different things, a lot of people's strengths and weaknesses came out, and there really was that chance to help each other out. And so even though I had gone into it thinking pretty much the whole thing was ridiculous and I just had to, get my $250 scholarship and get out, it ended up being one of those good things, and it really did bring out the best in people, including the best in me. And then they called my name again. So now I can say, hi, I'm Erin Nolan, Waterford's Junior Miss, and it is a scholarship program.